Okay, good day, everyone. My name is Lizzy Edward. I'm the Director of Finance and Financial Matters for ASFI. I'm also an editorial assistant with ASFI Research Journal. And today I'll be taking us through the post-acceptance phase of our manuscripts. Once the manuscript has been accepted, what happens? What's next? This is where the food we have been cooking with all the ingredients, this is where we get to taste it. This is where it becomes sweet. So I encourage everyone to please stay. I'll make it very brief. Please allow me to share my screen quickly. Okay. Please, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the post, it's also known as the post-acceptance phase. It's a very simple phase and delicate. It's delicate because there's little or no opportunity for that change, for much changes or corrections. So it requires a lot of attention to details. A lot of attention to details. There are 7 stages required. It involves proof preparation, proof correction, publication, registration on Crossref. I'm going to take us through all these phases one after the other briefly so that we have an understanding of what happens once we receive that message that says, congratulations, your manuscript has been accepted. It's good news that requires some form of work. And I'm going to take us through that now. So once a paper has been accepted and it has been sent to the production office for copy editing and typesetting, this is where the production team, takes our paper to the beautification room, and it is well organized, well arranged. We have a standard, a global standard and format which follow at ASFI Research Journal, and we ensure that all papers are prepared as such. So this is what the proof preparation is about, and we have a team of well-qualified and equipped editorial that handles this phase. After the proof has been prepared, then the proof is sent to the authors for vetting, for correction, for verification. Like I said earlier, this phase is very delicate because once we send the proof now to the authors, it must be checked properly. It must be checked and cross-checked because it is a one-chance opportunity before publication is made on ASFI Research Journal websites. And like my colleague previously said, Professor Heman, once a proof has been corrected and it has been sent back, making a correction after that time, it will result in an erratum if it is approved. So we don't want to get to that stage where we are, and I'm still going to talk about that later on. What are these errors that can happen, and then that will require us requesting for changes so that we can avert them. So what are the responsibility on our part as authors? We should review and correct if there's anything you feel that, although minimal changes are required at this stage, but if there are things that you feel that were not properly put in place, you should, bring that to the table when you are replying that email of your corrected proof. We should verify the accuracy of all text, including authors' names. This is very critical because we've had situations where people come back and say, oh no, there was a spelling error, there was a typo error, this is not the right name, this is not the arrangement, this should be the first name, and that should be the last name. And, things like this, we need to really pay attention to those little details that can be easily overlooked. Affiliations, mathematical or scientific expressions that we have used, we need to check and see that this is accurate. Also, adhering to timeline is critical at this point. It's a 48-hour turnaround time that we give for corrected proofs to be returned. Okay, so let's go to the third phase, which is the publication. The publication, like I said, we have a standard, a global standard that we use to ensure that your paper is well organized, it is well arranged, and our paper is actually, our site is actually author friendly. This is a sample of the Outlook. So you are able to share, you're able to download, you're able to see the number of views that you have on your published paper. Immediately your paper is, okay, this is also another sample. You can agree with me that this is well organized and it looks beautiful. So these are some of the work that we get to do on your paper before it is published. It's a detailed work and arrangement and organization to global standard. After that, we have your paper is also registered on Crossref so that you have a personalized DOI link assigned. So this is sent alongside the link to your published paper on ASFI Research Journal websites. So each author will receive an email notification that your paper has been published. This is the ASFI Research Journal website link to your paper. You also get alongside that the DOI link of your published paper. We do not stop there. We still go ahead to ensure that all published papers are promoted across all ASFI social media platforms and academic network. And we also encourage all authors to do the same, And the last stage of this phase is the evaluation of all the entire process that you have gone through, from the manuscript submission to the publication. And the email is received by the corresponding author. So it is critical. You see the little information, the names, the emails. This will take us to the next stage of this process, speaking about the production duration factors. So what are the factors that will affect, that will hinder or promote the rate at which our paper is being published? Because you see some people say, no, I've submitted my paper for so no, I have not received, I have not heard. These are the factors that would influence how quick, how fast your paper will be published at the ASFI Research Journal. And these factors are dependent on the authors, majorly. The language of your paper, number one, it determines the duration of the production. We expect at ASFI Research Journal that every paper that has been submitted, it will be in a standard English. That is our expectation, because at the production phase, proofing is not, language editing service is not part of us, is not part of the work we do at the production phase. It is not a language editing service. So we expect that every paper would, adhere to standard English. This would make the process very easy and fast. Also, we spoke about the email. The proofs will be sent to a particular email, and it is important that the email is accurate and correct. If this is not so, then when we send out proof, at the receiving end, the author will be waiting and will be wondering and thinking that nothing has been done after the paper has been accepted, whereas we would have sent out the email. So it is good that information are very correct, that we check and cross-check and pay attention to these details. Also referencing as much as possible, like we have said, and everyone, all my colleagues that have spoken have reiterated to us, we should not be in a hurry to submit. We should ensure that we adhere to all the pre-acceptance process. We should ensure that our paper is fully ready before we submit. This will limit the time that we spend between the acceptance and the production phase. So once there are a lot of corrections required, issues with reference, it's going to delay the timing for our publication. So as much as possible, let's ensure that our details are accurate and everything has been well vetted. Lastly, adhering to the 48 hours response time. We have a turnaround time that we give once the proof has been sent to authors. We expect that you would make all the necessary checks, you check the proof, you make changes if there are clarifications to the edited text. Like we said, it is the only chance of editing before it is published. So, and if there are also queries indicated in the proof, it is good that they are responded to within 48 hours. This is the timeline that we give so that the production process is not delayed and, we can easily get our papers published. It is also important for us to know that the proof is a confidential document. We shouldn't be sharing it with third party until the article is published. And note again that only minimal changes are required. It's not a time, once the proof is sent out, it's not a time to start revising and start adding new things, new ideas coming. It has already been accepted, so little or minimal changes are required at this time. And I believe this will help us to adhere to this 48 hours time bound that we have to return the corrected proof. Thank you for having us here. We hope and we believe that all that we have given you today, all that we have explained would aid and would encourage you to go ahead and submit your paper. It's a very sweet and swift process once you adhere to what you read all the guidelines and you adhere to all the instructions. Thank you.